Chilly Chap's Mysteries Unveiled. Case number 6. Familiars. Legendary, mystical and supernatural beings. Welcome to Chilly Chap's Mysteries Unveiled. Dive into the world of the unexplained with me, Chilly Chap, as I unravel strange mysteries and provide insightful analysis from ancient legends to modern-day enigmas. Join me on a journey to uncover the truth behind the world's most intriguing secrets. Subscribe and become part of our mystery-solving community. Familiars, or spooky sidekicks of the sinister. Familiars are creatures, often animals or spirits, associated with supernatural beings, particularly witches, wizards and warlocks. Some of you might say there's no difference between wizards and warlocks. To be honest, it's a thin line, but for the purpose of this video, let's just say male practitioners of magic. I'll probably come on to wizards and warlocks in another video, so for now the focus is on familiars. Familiars serve as companions, assistants and sometimes even sources of power. Familiars are by no means mere pets, but enigmatic entities imbued with a spark of the arcane. From the depths of ancient forests to the heart of bustling cities, they choose their companions, their destinies intertwined by threads of magic. A familiar is more than a companion, it is a confidant, a protector and sometimes a mischievous accomplice. So what are the common traits of familiars? Well, there can be a supernatural connection. Familiars have a unique bond with their master, often involving magic or pacts. There can be enhanced abilities. Familiars frequently possess abilities beyond those of ordinary creatures, such as speaking, understanding human language, or performing magical tasks. They can also have a distinctive appearance. Familiars often have unusual or uncanny features, setting them apart from their mundane counterparts. And then there's symbolic significance. Their choice as a familiar is often symbolic, reflecting the character of their master or their intended role. So what types of familiars are there? Well, the possibilities are vast, but here are some common types of familiars. We have cats, of course, those sleek, inscrutable beings, more than mere pets, less than fully understood. Cats with their eyes like moonlit wells tread the boundary between this world and the next. They're the sentinels of secrets, the keepers of forgotten spells. When a witch whispers incantations, her feline familiar listens, tail twitching in rhythm with forgotten chants. Toads. Ugly, yes, but within their warty hides lies ancient wisdom. Toads, earthbound and patient, harbour secrets of transformation. Their croaks echo through damp forests, a language deciphered only by those who dare to listen. Touch a toad's skin and you touch the very essence of alchemy, the melding of base matter into gold. Owls. Silent wings slice through midnight air as the owl descends, a harbinger of hidden truths. Their eyes, like polished onyx, pierce illusions. Diviners seek their counsel, or owls transverse realms beyond sight. When the moon hangs low, they glide over ancient ruins, their feathers brushing against forgotten runes. Then we have ravens. Feathers as dark as the abyss. Ravens are the messengers of twilight. They align on gravestones, cawing secrets to the departed. Death's librarians, they record the passage of souls. When a sorcerer seeks forbidden knowledge, it is the raven that deciphers cryptic scrolls, linked in the language of forgotten gods. Snakes. Slithering coils, sinuous and unyielding. Snakes embody paradox, healers and tempters, guardians of forbidden orchards. Their venom carries both life and death. A witch who binds a serpent as a familiar treads a treacherous path, one that winds through tangled roots and leads to forbidden fruit. Then we have spirits, ghosts of memory, echoes of existence. Some familiars are not flesh and fur, but remnants of souls. They linger, bound by ancient pacts, their loyalty unwavering. A spectral hand brushes against a sorceress's cheek, whispering forgotten names and lost promises. These familiars serve not out of choice, but out of spectral duty. Humans, here lies the blurred edge, the twilight zone where familiars wear human guise. A beggar at the crossroads, a seamstress with eyes like starlight, they too may be bound. Perhaps a pact forged in desperation, a whispered plea for power. These familiars walk amongst us, their true nature hidden behind mundane masks. Interestingly, the role of familiars differs depending upon their master's needs. So let's have a look at some of the different roles that familiars can perform. Firstly, there's companionship. Familiars are often confidants, treading the shadowed paths alongside their masters. Their eyes, ancient and knowing, reflect the constellations, and their loyalty transcends mere mortal bonds. When the heart aches or the soul falters, it's the familiar's soft presence that stitches the seams of solitude. Assistants. Beyond the mundane, they weave spells into existence. Picture this, a raven perched on a gnarled branch, its ebony feathers catching the moon's glow. With a tilt of its head, it fetches forgotten herbs for a potion, or perhaps it arranges the bones of divination. These tasks, seemingly trivial, ripple through the fabric of destiny. And then there's spies. Oh, how they fit through the ether, these spectral spies. Their forms, sometimes owls, sometimes serpents, meld with the night. They eavesdrop on council meetings in the fairy courts, their eyes like shards of obsidian. Whispers carried on the wind become their currency, traded in the clandestine bazaars of magic. Then, of course, they're guardians. When danger prowls, familiars morph into sentinels. A cat, sleek as moonlight, arches its back, a ward against malevolence. It circles its master, fur bristling, eyes aflame with ancient oaths. In the darkest hours, they stand sentinel at the crossroads, where realms converge and destinies collide. Let's not forget that familiars can be sources of power. Here lies the crux, the pulsing heart of their existence. Familiars are conduits of arcane currents. They sip from the font of cosmic energies. Their veins thrum with starlight, and their breath carries the scent of forgotten grimoires. When the sorcerer's incantations falter, it is the familiar's whispered secrets that rekindle the flame. So I thought I'd give you a brief history of familiars. In the gilded chambers of ancient Egypt, where the Nile flowed like liquid gold, felines were revered as divine. Legends whisper of Cleopatra, the serpent of the Nile, sharing confidences with a lioness as fierce and regal as herself. A partnership born of power and mystique. Yet the tides of perception turned with the ebb and flow of centuries. In the shadowed age of superstition, familiars were cast as sinister shadows, their loyalties questioned, their forms doubted. Owls hooted in the night, toads croaked their secrets, and black cats became harbingers of ill omen. Innocent creatures twisted into monstrous shapes by fear and ignorance. But as dawn chased away the shadows of the Dark Ages, a new era dawned, the Renaissance. A bloom of reason and wonder softened the harsh lines painted upon familiars. They were no longer creatures of dread, but companions of wisdom. So let's move on to witches and wizards. Merlin, the enigmatic sage, found solace and counsel in creatures as extraordinary as himself. Their names, Sage and Quill, whispered of ancient knowledge and timeless companionship. They say a witch is only as strong as her familiar. In the shadowy pages of Thomas Potts' grim chronicle, The Discovery of Witches, a chilling truth emerges. Each of the infamous Pendle witches was bound to a sinister entity. These were not mere companions, but dark counterparts, their souls intertwined in a pact as old as the night itself. Well, that's the rumour anyway. What of familiars in popular culture? Familiars have been a staple of folklore, mythology and fiction for centuries. They appear in works ranging from Shakespeare's Macbeth to modern fantasy and horror. Their portrayal can vary widely, from cute and cuddly to terrifying and sinister. I've picked a selection of famous familiars. Unfortunately, due to the often secretive nature of magic and the historical persecution of witches, there isn't a wealth of concrete evidence for specific famous familiars. Many of the stories are based on folklore, rumour and trial transcripts. However, we can delve into some of the most iconic and enduring examples. There are certain historical allegations. Tom Reed claimed to be the familiar of Bessie Dunlop, a cunning woman accused of witchcraft, the spectral pact. In the heart of Scotland, where mist clings to the moors and ancient lore whispers secrets, lived Bessie Dunlop, a woman shrouded in enigma. A farmer's wife by day, she was said to commune with spirits of the other world. At the core of her extraordinary existence lay a spectral pact, a bond forged with a man long departed, Thomas Reed. Reed, a soldier lost to the tumult of battle, refused to succumb to oblivion. Instead, he lingered as an ethereal presence, his consciousness a bridge between the mortal realm and the unseen. Through Bessie, he found a conduit, a vessel for his spectral wisdom. Together, they formed an unlikely partnership, their connection as mysterious as the Highland night. She, with her earthbound roots and innate intuition, he, a disembodied spirit, bearer of arcane knowledge. Rumours swirled around them, tales of prophecies fulfilled, ailments cured, and lost souls reunited. But such power, born of the uncanny, often invites scrutiny. When the flames of intolerance consumed the land, Bessie's gift became her undoing. Her story is a haunting echo, a reminder of a time when magic and madness were intertwined. Was she a delusional woman, or a conduit for forces beyond comprehension? The truth, like the mist that shrouds the Scottish Highlands, remains elusive. And then we had Grisel and Griddygut, allegedly familiars of Jane Wallis, a 17th century witch from Huntingdonshire. Again, Jane Wallis was mentioned in the infamous Discovery of Witches. Apparently, Grisel, Greedygut and Griddygut were more than pets. They were supernatural entities, bound to Jane by an unseen force. Grisel, a name that evokes images of twilight magic, was perhaps a cat, a toad or something entirely otherworldly. Her role as Jane's familiar suggests a creature of cunning and intuition, a being of deep connection to the natural world. Griddygut, on the other hand, is a spectral enigma, a shadow, a whisper, or a being of pure energy. Griddygut's form remains unknown. Together they formed a triad of power, their existence intertwined with Jane's. Their roles as her confidants and protectors were undeniable, their presence a constant in a world fraught with suspicion and fear. Yet with the fading of the witch hunt era, their story, like that of their mistress, becomes a whisper in the wind, a haunting echo of a time where magic and terror walked hand in hand. Despite facing accusations and trials, Jane Wallis managed to challenge her accusers. Her story is a haunting reminder of a woman caught between the ordinary and the supernatural, a symbol of resilience in a world dominated by fear. I'd mentioned Cleopatra and her lion. Let's delve a little deeper into this mystery. In the shadowed corridors of ancient Alexandria, where whispers dance like veils of incense smoke, Cleopatra, the enigmatic queen, held secrets that defied the sands of time. Among those secrets, none stirred more intrigue than a mythical bond with a lion. Cleopatra was more than flesh and bone. She was a tapestry woven from ambition, intellect, and the intoxicating scent of lotus blossoms. Yet the annals of history remain silent on the lion that padded at her side. No hieroglyphs etched its form, no papyrus whispered its name. It was said that Cleopatra's garden bloomed with secret lotus petals unfurled, and jasmine vines whispered forgotten spells. And there, beneath the moon's silver gaze, the lion materialized. A creature of paradox, its gold fur held both fire and shadow. Cleopatra's courtiers gasped as the lion padded beside her throne. Was it protector or phantom, consort or chimera? She, with eyes like the Nile at twilight, would only smile. "He is my silent counsel," she murmured, "a guardian of forgotten truths." Modern minds weren't so sure. "Familiar?" they scoffed. "A queen with a lion? Pure fancy." Yet storytellers wove the threads tighter. They whispered of moonlit trysts, of Cleopatra's fingers tracing constellations on the lion's flank. When the asp's venom kissed her skin, Cleopatra's eyes held secrets. Perhaps the lion wept in the shadows, or perhaps it vanished into stardust. Her legend, part history, part myth, endured, and in the hush of desert nights, the lion's ghost still roamed, guarding her memory. Then we have fictional familiars with enduring fame. Who can forget Salem the cat, familiar of Sabrina the teenage witch? Salem Saberhagen was a feline enigma, a relic of a once mighty sorcerer. Bound by a century-old curse, Salem's form is that of a cat, a stark contrast to his former ambitions. Yet within his feline frame, the embers of his former power still smoulder. His sarcastic wit and megalomaniacal dreams paint a portrait of a creature trapped in a paradox. When Sabrina stumbles upon ancient grimoires, Salem arches an eyebrow, or what passes for one, and quips, "Ah, another spell to summon chaos. How original." His tail flicks a silent ellipsis. As Sabrina's familiar, Salem serves as both mentor and tormentor. His cryptic wisdom, laced with cynicism, guides her through the treacherous path of witchcraft. Yet, beneath his sardonic exterior lies a fierce loyalty, a guardian's heart beating beneath the fur. Salem is a paradox, a cosmic punchline trapped in a world he once sought to dominate. His story is one of ambition, regret, and the enduring power of the human spirit, even when cloaked in feline form. I should also mention Shakespeare's unseen companions, the silent weavers. In the Scottish mists where heather blooms conceal ancient runes, the weird sisters gather. Their cauldron bubbles with prophecy, and their familiars, unseen by mortal eyes, circle like hungry ghosts. One, a raven with feathers like midnight ink, croaks forgotten verses. Another, a serpent with scales of tarnished silver, coils around destiny's spindle. Another interesting legend of familiar is Prince Rupert's dog, called Boy, known as the Poodle of Destiny. In the tempestuous era of the English Civil War, a tale of unwavering loyalty unfolded amidst the clash of swords and the thunder of cannon fire. At the heart of this narrative stood a small white poodle named Boy, the faithful companion of Prince Rupert of the Rhine. Boy was more than just a pet, he was a symbol of loyalty, a mascot who accompanied his master into the very heart of battle. Amidst the chaos and carnage, Boy's pristine fur and unwavering spirit stood out, a beacon of hope in a world consumed by conflict. The Battle of Marston Moor, a pivotal moment in the Civil War, saw Boy fighting alongside his master. Rumours of his mystical properties began to circulate, with some suggesting he was a conduit for witchcraft or a devil's familiar. These tales only added to Boy's mystique, transforming him from a simple canine companion into a legendary figure. Prince Rupert himself was a complex character, a soldier prince caught in the maelstrom of European politics. His life was marked by battles, sieges and exile, but through it all, Boy remained his constant companion. Boy's legacy extends beyond the battlefield. He's a testament to the enduring bond between human and animal, a reminder that even in the darkest times, loyalty and companionship can provide solace and strength. However, there is one last curious fact about Boy. Rumour has it that the dog was shot at the end of the war, apparently with a silver bullet. Now, don't you find that curious? Next, we move on to modern enchantments, familiars in the digital age. Crookshanks, the square-faced cat of Hogwarts, blinks with ancient wisdom. His mismatched eyes hold secrets, the whispers of vanished wizards and the scent of forbidden libraries. And who can forget in Discworld, where elephants stand on the backs of turtles, familiars take curious forms, like a sentient luggage chest with a penchant for adventure, or a raven who quotes footnotes from forgotten grimoires. Looking at the world of computer games, I have to mention a personal favourite, and all I ask is, don't judge me. You see, I have a secret. I've been playing World of Warcraft for over 20 years, Horde and Alliance in case you were wondering. So it would be remiss of me not to mention that familiars appear in this fantastic game, mostly in the form of warlocks, although shamans do have familiars too that they can summon. Within the labyrinth depths of Azeroth, warlocks have a tapestry of darkness, their power fueled by forbidden pacts and the souls of the damned. At their side stands their demonic familiars, creatures of eldritch origin bound to their master's will. First we have the Imp, a mischievous sprite. The Imp darts around the fray, hurling fireballs and weaving insidious hexes. Its small stature belies its cunning, and its utility in battle is undeniable. Yet beneath its playful exterior lies a dark heart, capable of sowing chaos and confusion. Next is the Succubus, a siren of the abyss. The Succubus's allure is as deadly as it is seductive. Her intoxicating beauty lures enemies into her clutches, only to be drained of their life essence. More than just a tool of destruction, she is a master of manipulation, capable of turning foes against each other. Then we have the Felguard, a titan of destruction. The Felguard's brute force is unmatched. Its heavy armour and devastating attacks make it a formidable ally on the battlefield. Yet its loyalty is tempered with its primal hunger for battle, and its power can be a double-edged sword. Then we have the Voidwalker, a shadowy sentinel from the abyss. The Voidwalker absorbs damage and heals its master. Its ethereal form seems almost incorporeal, yet its power is undeniable. However, its mastery comes at a cost, as its very essence is tied to the dark forces of the void. Finally, we have the Infernal, a cataclysmic force of nature. The Infernal's fiery fury can devastate entire armies. Its power is immense, but its lifespan is fleeting, a blazing comet that burns brightly before vanishing into the void. Each familiar is a unique and powerful ally, capable of turning the tide of battle. However, their loyalty is as fickle as the dark forces that spawned them. Warlocks must tread carefully, nurturing their bond with these infernal creatures, lest they become the very instruments of their own destruction. There may be some of you out there who are wondering if I'm going to talk about vampire familiars. Wahahahaha! I didn't forget. This is a bit of a cloudy issue though. While not as explicitly defined as witches' familiars, the concept of a vampire servant or companion is a common trope in vampire lore. Often these characters are referred to as henchmen, servants or lackeys rather than familiars, but they fulfill a similar role. They are typically human though, and sometimes a little animalistic or even supernatural, bound to the vampire by fear, loyalty or a supernatural connection. We have seen various examples of vampire servants. Probably the best known one is Renfield from Bram Stoker's Dracula, an iconic example. A mentally unstable man who becomes obsessed with Dracula and serves him unquestioningly. And also, there are vampire minions, such as those in Twilight or True Blood, and they often fulfill the role of familiars, assisting the vampire in their daily life and hunting. There does seem to be key characteristics of vampire familiars or servants. There is obedience, they're typically subservient to the vampire. There's loyalty, often bound by fear, love or other motivations, but they are fiercely loyal. And there does often seem to be a lack of free will, and they're often seen as manipulated or controlled by the vampire. I'm going to just rewind a little, because it would be remiss of me not to mention a rather recent film, namely Renfield. It's a fresh take on a classic tale. Renfield is a 2023 action comedy horror film that puts a unique spin on Bram Stoker's iconic character. Instead of the traditional submissive portrayal, this version of Renfield is a tortured soul, desperately trying to break free from the clutches of his narcissistic boss, Count Dracula. The movie offers a comedic take on the vampire genre, with Nicholas Hoult delivering a hilarious and sympathetic performance as Renfield. Nicolas Cage, however, steals the show as a flamboyant and over-the-top Dracula, providing plenty of laughs and memorable moments. The film explores themes of codependency, toxic relationships, and self-discovery, as Renfield seeks a life outside the shadow of his monstrous master. It blends horror, comedy, and action seamlessly, creating a thrilling and entertaining experience. And in case you ask, no, Victor Frankenstein did not have a familiar. The concept of a familiar is typically associated with witchcraft and supernatural beings. Frankenstein, while involved in a groundbreaking and morally questionable scientific experiment, does not fit into the realm of witchcraft or the occult. His creation, often referred to as a monster or creature, is more accurately described as a scientific experiment gone horribly wrong than a supernatural entity. Conclusion. And there you have it, dear listener, a brief glimpse into the fascinating world of familiars. From historical figures to mythical creatures, these enigmatic companions have captured our imagination for centuries. Whether you believe in magic or not, there's no denying the allure of these mysterious creatures. We've explored the depths of history, delved into folklore, and touched on the fringes of the supernatural. But the truth about familiars remains elusive. Are they figments of our imagination, or are they waiting to be discovered in the shadows of our world? Only time will tell. Until then, let your imagination run wild. The path to finding your familiar is as unique as you are. It's a dance with destiny, a quest for a connection that transcends the ordinary. Perhaps your heart resonates with the ancient wisdom of an owl, or the fiery spirit of a dragon. Maybe a mischievous sprite or loyal hound calls to you from the shadows. So what do you think? Have I sparked your interest in the world of familiars? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more mysterious content. Thanks for watching.